Welcome to another installment of Stacker Stockpile, where we take a look at older and obscure games. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and we're going to take a stroll on Advance to Boardwalk by Parker Brothers. In Advance to Boardwalk, your objective is to collect hotel properties on, well, Boardwalk, and be the player with the highest total value at the end. Unlike your typical Monopoly game, this game uses no money to spend on properties. Instead, you need to earn money by controlling property spaces with your tiles. On your turn, you roll 3 dice. And the number dice becomes your spending limit, and the color die determines what kind of color property you can buy. On a wall, you can buy any color property type. Then you may spend up to your limit from your dice total. If I rolled 11 in a yellow, I can put my hotel tile on a 6 and a 5, or 5, 4, or any lower combination. The rules are, you can only build one tile on an empty space. You may build one tile on a property that already has a tile, and you may build on top of opponent's tiles. After placing a tile or tiles, the player who is on the top gets control of the property. Property control can also be the player who has the most tile in a single property. In case of a tie, the player who is furthest on top owns the property. When you own a property, you take the property card to indicate you have ownership. There are also fortune cards you can use. These can be obtained by landing on a space on the boardwalk with an F or rolling an F on the colored die. If you do roll a fortune on the colored die, you don't get to buy any properties for that turn. These fortune cards allow you to manipulate some of the things on the board. A card like Transfer moves any unit to another spot, or a card like Hurricane removes a hotel tile from a unit. Before the turn ends, all points are calculated on the boardwalk. The game ends when one player no longer has tiles to play, or when a single player has reached the end of the boardwalk with 61 points. Now, when I saw the box and read the rules, it sounds like a basic area control game. Just a simple one, but when I played the actual game, I ran into a lot of problems. Before I go into that, let me give you some of the things I like about the game. I think rolling the 2 numbers on the dice and choosing what properties to place on your tile is cool. Add that with the color dice so the players can't easily control a single area. I like that too. And I think even bad rolls doesn't even hurt the game. The property values don't even go that high, and the highest marked property being 8. With average rolls, there is enough here to play with. Now here is the bad part. I hate the fortune cards. Some are way too powerful. In games I play, the games are very swingy. There are cards that really make the game broken. Those are mostly any of the fortune cards that have the effects of removing or changing tiles on the board. The player who gets the most tiles is the player that has the most chances of winning the game. So I guess I removed the fortune tiles, and I think the game's a little better that way. And before moving to my final thoughts, let's see how well I did buying this game. I paid $1.98 for it, and it's very common to find, but it's not worth that much. For my final thoughts, the game is a decent game if you remove the fortune cards. Even though the fortune cards almost ruin the game, it still would be a better game than regular old Monopoly. First, it's shorter, and second, Advance to Boardwalk is about collecting and controlling properties, but too bad there isn't any trading. So if you like the collecting aspects of Monopoly, perhaps Advance to Boardwalk might be something to look for. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe. You can support our channel by visiting our Patreon page and follow us on Twitter. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and keep on stacking games.